what are the top three quarterbacks, or if you could get more than that, fine. They're going to have the spotlight on them.
I randomly one night with a friend did a ranked 30 all 32 quarterbacks. So let me read through that and see who I think would be in the spotlight. Well, I think Hurts is in the spotlight because he got paid and he took that Philly team with all that talent, so he's got to, I think, back it up now. I think Trevor Lawrence, just because he had a breakout year, he's out of the shadow of Urban Meyer. And if I had to pick a third one in this group, I'm going to say Justin Fields, just because Chicago and all the pressure. So yeah,
Okay,
Hurts,
Byron.
Lawrence, Fields. Those are my three to put in the spotlight this year.
Well, I like his first two. Those are good for me. And
That's
Lamar
going to be
Jackson.
good. You say-
And Lamar Jackson is my third guy because he
oh,
got
that's
paid.
and his whole drama llama there, where like he dragged it out to basically draft night. Fair point.
Yes, he did.
Well, I may
Yep.
pick five. I think
Whoa,
number
whoa,
one.
whoa, three, three,
I said
three.
three or five. I was
The
trying to be
No,
integrity.
no,
generous.
no, don't change up. You said
You can pick
three.
it up. No, I said or five. You
You
could
said
do more.
three.
I didn't
Okay,
know if
I
you
mean,
could pick more.
Well, I'm going to add Jackson if we want to do five, and then actually another one, Kyler Murray. He's
Okay,
got to prove it.
Byron, gotta give you your next two, and I'll go.
Come on, Daniel Jones, man. Come on. He got paid too, like everybody else. So yes, I'm throwing him out there. And my other guy is spotlight number one pick for Carolina, Bryce Young. Gonna prove
All
that the
right,
small guy
those
can make it.
those those are pretty good. Some Alex says I'm in between, and you too. So I think the spotlight number one is going to be on Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah, you play in New York.
Wait a second. I asked you, right? That was my turn. You didn't
Sorry.
pick them.
Yes. Here, thumbs
Both of
up.
you guys are picking things that was an ass. Who has the spotlight on? I don't care that like what we're looking if he does good. The spotlight to either produce or it's gonna be on you. Byron's already said that if the guy can't handle the New York key, he's gonna be gone. That's spotlight. Right, Byron? I mean, you said
Yeah,
it. If he can't handle it, that's a problem. So I think
I
Aaron
don't remember.
Rodgers is number one going to have the spotlight on him with all the shenanigans going on. I think number two is going to be Deshaun Watson, right?
Yeah.
Because he's the one who broke the mold, which caused the Lamar Jackson issue, which caused a lot of other issues. And, that spotlight that doesn't produce, that Cleveland just is a disaster team.
But
He
he's
has to
still
also prove that what happened last year was all right. No 10-game suspension. He has a full training camp.
Right. That's my point. He's got
and
everything under, and he didn't make $1,000,000. He made $1,000,000 last year.
and he's still getting paid regardless what he does.
Now he's getting paid guaranteed 245 million, right? Something like that. So I think that spotlight's going to be on him because of that. And I think that one may not be spotlighted for the I guess for maybe news outlets. I think, but it's spotlight for guys that know sports. Like, was this guy worth it? And I'm sure the owners are watching too because they're pissed because now they have to deal with all the blowback on their quarterbacks when they got to pay. I think then you got, and I'm not, these are in particular, number one for sure is Aaron Rodgers. The rest of them are
absolutely.
not in particular order. The next one is going to be, I think it's going to be Lamar Jackson, right? Because, hey, he texts everybody, I'm leaving. And then he goes on things I wanted to be a Raven all my life. Right. So I think it's going to be Lamar Jackson is number three. I'm going around league now. Again, I told you guys to pick five. I already got three.
Ah,
Funny how that works.
I had five, and then I got thrown off. Let's see. I would agree with Jalen Hurts, only because he's in that market, right? And he got paid, and he took them to the Super Bowl, and they did on paper have a better team, right? Who's also going to be on the spotlight? Going through a routine.
No, are you thinking like in your method? Are you just thinking after Aaron Rodgers because he's going to be in the bright lights of New York? Are you thinking like someone who has something to prove, someone who got paid big and needs to step it
Well,
up.
okay, that's a good point. Let's cover that. So Aaron Rodgers won because of just the whole drama of leaving Cleveland and I want to get out
Green Bay.
and the delay and then going to the Jets and having players going over there and the fact that the Jets are in, they've been terrible for so long, right? If they continue to be terrible with him, that's not good, right? I mean, so that's what I'm saying. I think he's got the opportunity to, if he could get them to play in one playoff game, it's a coup. They don't have to win the Super Bowl, in my opinion, but we'll see from there.
I don't
And then the
disagree
other
with
argument
that.
is if he can handle the media, he may only be 1 year and gone. So that's why that spotlight is on him, right? Lamar Jackson's spotlight is on him because of all the to do with him, right? With the money and the guarantee and so forth. Spotlights on Deshaun Watson. Again, that one I don't know if it's more media, but I don't know. But it's just like now, dude,
It's a combo, I think.
it's a problem, man. The Browns ownership kind of messed it up for the rest of the owners with the guarantee, right? I mean, he
But
set the
we'll see.
standard. Well, I mean, Lamar was waiting out for his. I didn't get as much, but he got what he wanted, I guess. That's the only reason I picked Deshaun Watson, right? I'm trying to go through the other piece. I mean, James Jones, you're in New York, you always get the spotlight on. And, again, I don't need, those guys got to be great. The three people I picked have to be great. Daniel Jones doesn't have to be great.
Why not?
That's why I'm not picking him.
Why not?
Because we don't need him to be great. We need him just to be good.
But we
Good,
just paid all
good.
that money.
He got paid all that money.
But they're all getting paid all that money. But it is what it is. But just saying to you, I don't think those guys got to be great. Is that a fair statement? Aaron Rodgers got to play Aaron Rodgers good football? Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
For the Jets, sure. I could frankly
I don't care.
less if they
Aaron
go
Rodgers got to play
215.
football. I don't care what team he's on. The brother got to play. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2. Lamar Jackson, he's got to play, and they're giving him weapons. He's got weapons now.
A new
Not just Mark
offensive coordinator,
Andrews, yeah.
too.
He got a new offensive coordinator, but he got players he could throw to. No reason to you run, 100 yards a game, right? Unless
He's still going to run a lot, though.
he may run a lot, but hopefully he learns Patrick Mahomes' way. And then Deshaun Watson, why he's got, he has to be a star at that kind of money, right? He has to be. You just said Daniel Jones he got paid. He didn't get paid Deshaun Watson money.
He still got paid, though.
Well, I said the
He
Watson
didn't
thing,
get paid
he has to
Deshaun
prove
Watson
that,
money. It has nothing to
all
do with it.
that-
He get 245,000, 245 million or whatever it is, guaranteed, which caused an uproar for Lamar Jackson and all the other quarterbacks.
I mean, his thing also has to prove that suspension was the reason he played so terrible in those 6 or 7 games. He needs to prove that, okay, with a training camp, with preseason, that he will be at least exceptionally not terrible like he was last
No,
season.
he's got to be a $245 million quarterback, Alex. I disagree with that. He can't be just better than he was last year. He has to play to what they paid him. That's serious. He changed the entire landscape of the market.
I feel like in many ways the NFL, every owner except even maybe Jimmy Haslam hopes he isn't that good. So that way, all right, we made a bad business decision. We're never doing that again. But if he proves everyone wrong, all of a sudden Lamar will be like, well, not that Lamar, he signed a contract,
Okay,
but the next
and
guy.
I agree with that 1,000%. Hence the spotlight.
Fair point.
Right, just everything you're saying, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying it's a spotlight. How they do is a different. It's, in my opinion, is not relevant. The reason they have the spotlight is because they have to.
Agreed.
Right?
Yep.
And then Jalen Hurts only because now he got paid. He's got some weapons. They're picked the best, everything. And Philadelphia's a tough market. They're going to always have something on him, and he got money. That's my reasoning there. I'm trying to think of the 5th quarterback that the spotlight's going to be on. Maybe
if you'd have stuck with 3, you'd be fine.
I thought I had
what
more.
about Josh Allen for kind of one of those? We know he's talented. There's a lot of talent around him, but he can't seemingly get it done. The pressure's on, I think, in a way for Allen. He's not in my 5 for spotlight, but in terms of to give you a 5th option, because we've seen they lose to Kansas City, they lose to the Cincinnati Bengals. Allen's yet to get it done when it matters most. So I think the spotlight's on him to prove I don't know when his next contract's up, or if he's in the midst of his big contract. That's
He's
I
in
think
the
a
middle
pretty
of it.
proven one.
Okay.
So I think Allen's one to kind of like low key look out for in terms of the spotlight.
I'll throw two in my five that you guys see what your thoughts are. I think Tua is under the spotlight.
Absolutely.
Because can he stay healthy? And he already had retirement on his mind. And then the other one is a person you mentioned. The spotlight's going to be on Russell Wilson. Right?
Yeah.
You just said it. He's got a great coach. He's
Well,
got
say,
all
he's
the
been-
things.
he's been handed a good coach.
You mentioned all those pieces. I'm just
He's
telling
got
you,
good receivers, good tight
that puts
ends.
the
He
spotlight
has
on.
a weapon. He has the weapons. He just needed a better coach.
You're right, but he's got to play two quarterbacks that are better than him twice.
Okay, any given Sunday.
I get you, but I like Russell Wilson. Didn't like him last year, but what teetered some of my thoughts was how Seattle elevated Geno Smith that I forgot it was in the league.
Well, Geno also had something to prove. Now he got paid, so we don't know
But he
if
gets
Geno's
something to
going to
prove.
be
But
the
he
same.
also remember some of Russell Wilson's arguments of wanting to leave or wanting a new coach was because Pete Carroll was a defensive coach. So Pete Carroll stays, and he has an offensive quarterback that makes the All-Pro, gets paid. Right? So was it Pete Carroll?
Pete Carroll's a good coach.
Pete Carroll's a good coach. I think he's a good coach. So that's where those two, I think, if I had to pick out, I can't think of any others. That's my reasoning of the spotlight, right? Tua, whether you're going to stay. And also remember, Tua, they should have, one of Brian Flores' reasons he was upset was because he wanted Herbert. He didn't want Tua.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Every Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Only on The Sportscast.